This is the story of a quiet, methodical, and silent takeover, hiding right beneath our feet. This is the story of the Asian needle ant. You step out into the quiet sanctuary of your backyard. The air is calm, the ground is familiar. For generations, the American landscape has felt like a safe space, a known quantity. You reach down to clear away a pile of damp, fallen leaves. You are completely unaware that you have just crossed an invisible boundary as your hand brushes against the decaying wood. And then, without warning, the illusion of safety shatters. A sudden, blinding flash of agony strikes your skin. It does not feel like a typical insect bite. It feels as though a piece of searing hot metal has just been driven deep into your flesh. You pull your hand back in shock, searching the soil for a hornet, a wasp, or perhaps a jagged piece of glass hidden in the dirt. But there is almost nothing there. Just the leaves. Just the shadows. You have just encountered the unseen invader. You spot a tiny, nearly invisible dark shape retreating rapidly into the earth, confirming an attack by something small and unknown. This is not a story of a loud, destructive force. This is the story of a quiet, methodical, and silent takeover happening right now. Right now, a highly invasive ant species is spreading rapidly across the United States. It is known as the Asian needle ant. This is a microscopic predator, small in size but significant in threat, unlike any native species. This threat has triggered urgent warnings from health officials, who are now pleading with the public to exercise immediate caution. The danger is real, it is growing, and this microscopic predator is hiding right beneath our feet, where we least expect it. The Asian needle ant represents an urgent challenge to our perceived safety outdoors. We must acknowledge this threat. The silent takeover is underway, making awareness and vigilance essential in our daily lives. To truly understand the enemy, you have to look closely, incredibly closely. We're talking about a biological threat that has been here longer than you think. This insect is tiny, a master of camouflage, and the danger it carries is entirely disproportionate to its size. This invader originally hails from the distant ecosystems of China, Japan, and the Koreas. It is a master of biological camouflage, perfectly adapted to vanish into its surroundings. Measure this pest, and you'll find it's tiny, measuring no more than 1/5 of an inch in length. Its body is cloaked in dark brown to black armor, allowing it to vanish perfectly into the dark, damp background of the forest floor. It may not look like a monster, but the danger it carries is entirely disproportionate to its microscopic size, threatening to bring grown adults to their knees. The most unsettling part is not just that this biological invasion is happening right now, but the chilling realization of how long it's been going on. This species did not just arrive yesterday. The invasion has been happening for almost a century. It was first identified in the United States more than 90 years ago. For decades, it remained a ghost, a dormant passenger in the American landscape, surviving quietly and entirely unnoticed by the average citizen. It waited. And then, something changed. The sleeping giant has awakened. For reasons scientists are still working to comprehend, their population has surged significantly in recent years. The sleeping giant has awakened, and it is now moving with relentless speed across the landscape. This invasive species presents a serious threat we must acknowledge, understand, and address. Remember, the danger is entirely disproportionate to its size. Stay aware of this century-long biological. We are facing an invisible threat, a silent invasion washing over the continent. This is the story of the Asian needle ant. The Asian needle ant is an invader whose territory is expanding every single day, often undetected. They have now been officially detected in at least 20 different states, showing an alarming ability to ignore state lines and weather patterns. This is a slow, silent wave of expansion, and the map of their conquered territory is growing steadily. They established their initial beachheads in the warm, humid environments of Florida, Georgia, and Texas, but they didn't stop there. They began a steady march northward, pushing into temperate zones like New York and Pennsylvania, and are even adapting to the bitter, colder climates of Massachusetts and Wisconsin. Unlike the dangerous ants we are used to, the Asian needle ant doesn't play by the rules, leading to unexpected encounters. Crucially, this invader completely refuses to build visible anthills. They do not announce their presence to the world with mounds of dry dirt. Instead, they nest discreetly in the natural debris, constructing hidden colonies deep inside layers of dead leaf litter and hollowing out rotting logs. They live exactly where humans walk, play, garden, and work. Because their homes are invisible, Accidental contact is a statistical probability. When contact happens, the biological response is devastating. The ant is equipped with a weapon that defies its fragile frame. The sting delivers a devastating biological response. You often don't know you are standing on their home until the attack has already begun. Its stinger is remarkably strong, engineered to easily pierce directly through human clothing. You don't even need to touch the ant with bare skin to become a victim. The pain is legendary, an intense, radiating agony that comes and goes in agonizing waves over several hours. In some cases, the severe pain spreads beyond the initial sting site. Those who study this ant confirm the severity of the sting. We turn to Professor Benoit Guinard for a chilling description. Professor Guinard stated, "Imagine somebody inserting a needle directly into your flesh. It is a very sharp, acute pain, heavily localized but incredibly severe." The United States Department of Agriculture confirms this grim reality, noting the cyclical nature of the suffering that pulses for hours after the insect has retreated. This invisible danger is present where we live and recreate. Awareness is your first line of defense. Understand the threat, know where they hide, and protect yourself from. Meet the Asian needle ant. While tiny, the venom from this dark ant carries a risk that extends far beyond a simple sting. The initial sting is characterized by immediate and terrible pain. But for a vulnerable part of the population, that pain is only the beginning of a nightmare. For people with specific, heightened allergies, this ant's venom poses a potentially deadly threat. A single sting can instantaneously trigger anaphylaxis, a severe and life-threatening systemic reaction. What starts as a peaceful moment outdoors can violently transform into a desperate medical emergency due to the venom's rapid action. Anaphylaxis is a severe, systemic, and life-threatening allergic reaction where the body goes into immediate distress. The airway constricts, the body goes into shock, and the venom acts with terrifying speed, turning this microscopic insect into a lethal hazard. Despite their potent sting, experts stress a crucial detail about the Asian needle ant's psychology. They are not naturally hostile or aggressive. They are not like the infamous fire ants, which swarm and attack with blind, coordinated fury. These ants are solitary in their defense. The Asian needle ant does not actively seek out or hunt humans. Officials note they do not pose a widespread public health risk in the traditional sense of a sprawling plague. Their sting is only a last resort. They unleash their venom when they feel directly threatened. They only sting when they perceive a direct threat to themselves or their nest. Their aggression is a purely defensive response, a survival mechanism programmed by nature. The problem lies in the fact that our world and their world are now completely intertwined. Their invisible nests overlap completely with our backyards, our parks, and our walking trails. When we step on a pile of damp leaves or move a decaying log, we are inadvertently threatening them and destroying the roof of their city. They respond in the only way nature has taught them: self-defense and survival. Knowing their presence and their defensive nature is the first step towards safe coexistence. Always exercise caution. A quiet but significant danger is reshaping how we interact with the natural world around us. This is the story of the Asian needle ant. Because of this hidden danger, authorities are now urging citizens to fundamentally change how they interact with nature. People who work outdoors, including landscapers, gardeners, and hikers, must now exercise extreme caution. New safety protocols are strongly advised for anyone spending time in wooded or natural areas. You are strongly advised to wear heavy protective gear, most importantly, thick gloves. We can no longer afford to carelessly sift through the dirt with our bare hands. The risk is too great. If you happen to encounter these dark, tiny insects in the wild, you need to know exactly what to do. The official advice is clear and absolute. Move away cautiously, creating distance between yourself and the insects. Do not engage them. Do not attempt to crush them or sweep them away with your hand. You must respect the silent, venomous perimeter they have established in the shadows. The most sobering fact of all comes directly from the United States Department of Agriculture. They have been rigorously monitoring the relentless spread of this insect across the country. The USDA has formally acknowledged a hard, irreversible truth about the invasive species. Like many invasive species before it, the Asian needle ant now appears to be a permanent presence in the United States. They are officially considered a permanent fixture in the American ecosystem, permanently changing the landscape. Authorities continue to monitor their impact, but the reality is stark. We cannot eradicate them. We cannot dig them up. The quiet invasion is over. They have won, claiming their place in the environment. They have successfully claimed the soil beneath the surface, permanently weaving themselves into the fabric of the forest floor. Now, every time we step into the shadows of the trees, we must remember that we are no longer walking alone.